Elvis Presley's granddaughter, Riley Keough, is opening up about her plans for Graceland and a promise to her mother.
Locked for over 40 years, the upper floor of Graceland has been a riddle no one could touch or even photograph. Inside those doors lie whispers of hidden rooms, sealed letters, secret tapes, and feelings so raw the family kept them from every tour group. Could a tunnel snake under mansion? Did Elvis stash away songs time has never heard? One room is still frozen exactly as the day he left it. How chilling is that? Graceland is not just a mansion. It is a fortress of memories. No cameras, no tourist feet on those stairs, no exceptions for anyone. Even the most loyal Presley fan has never seen that second floor. Yet Riley Keough is finally speaking, and the silence shatters like glass.
We were very close, so a lot of the Graceland stuff I was already involved in with her.
To see how this mystery began, we leave the fame behind and look at a simple house on a quiet patch of Tennessee soil. Built in 1939, the home had 10 neat rooms, white columns, and a calm porch that felt more polite than flashy. Surrounded by empty fields, it was elegant yet modest, a place that fit in with sleepy country roads rather than headlines. Everything changed in 1957 when a 22-year-old Elvis Presley needed a hideaway from screaming crowds. He paid $102,500 and dashed inside for peace. Yet that calm would not last long. He started renovating at lightning speed, turning the house into a mirror of his wild spirit. Loud colors, unpredictable corners, and deeply personal touches everywhere. By the late 1960s, he unveiled the Jungle Room, and the name hardly does it justice. Green shag carpet crawled across the floor, and even the ceiling. Carved wooden chairs growled like tigers, and tropical lamps glowed through fake vines. The King recorded late-night tracks there like Moody Blue, with rain pounding outside and shag carpet soaking up every soulful note. Just outside sits the meditation garden, designed in 1964 as a quiet circle of stone and flowers. Years later it became holy ground. The burial place of Elvis, his parents, his grandmother, and in time his daughter Lisa Marie. Fans from across the planet line up in silence, leaving roses, guitar picks, and handwritten prayers that rustle in the breeze. When Graceland opened to public in 1982, more than 20 million visitors began pouring through its front gate. This is not your average tourist photo stop. It is a pilgrimage. People cross oceans to feel closer to the voice that rocked the world, and each visitor walks out changed and buzzing with awe. Graceland now ranks as the second most visited home in the United States, beaten only by the White House year after year. Endless exhibits show off gold records, glittering jumpsuits, and shiny cars. Yet one section remains sealed tighter than a bank vault. No one, and that means no one, has ever been allowed to see the second floor. The upstairs hallway stands beyond a rope and a locked door, untouched since 1977. Everyone asks the same question. What secrets still breathe in those dark rooms? And at last we have someone who knows the answer. The upstairs, closed at every tour, locked, preserved, and untouched since the tragic morning Elvis passed away in 1977. This hush over the second floor still haunts fans and historians. Why so much protection for a simple hallway? Only a tiny circle of family, staff, and trusted friends ever step beyond that staircase, because the space is sacred. Here stand the bedroom where Elvis dreamed, the bathroom where he fell, and the closet where rhinestone jumpsuits hang like ghosts frozen in time. Riley Keough grew up with these stories swirling around her like southern heat. She feels every dusty corner of Graceland in her bones. Now she offers rare glimpses of what those rooms meant to the man behind the legend, and her words crackle with emotion. Elvis hid upstairs when fame felt too loud. He read comic books, wrote love notes, mourned lost friends, crafted new melodies, and sometimes unraveled under the weight of his own name. Downstairs the world saw a glittering star, yet upstairs he whispered fears into the night air. How human is that? The true magnetism of Graceland is not only what hangs on the walls, but what remains unseen. Riley reveals that behind those doors she found something bigger than souvenirs. She found memories private and painfully real. For decades, rumors spread that the upper floor stayed closed to hide a darker story, that Elvis never died, that the body was double, that he vanished to South America. Riley knocks those myths flat. She says the rooms look exactly as they did on the day he left this world, not to conceal a plot, but because the grief is too heavy to move anything. It's like he never left, Riley explains. Everything's still there, his clothes, his records, the books by his bed. You can smell the cologne. You can feel him in the walls. Her words send shivers because they place us right beside her in that silent hallway. The decision to seal the upper level came from Vernon Presley, Elvis's father, who wanted one place the public could never touch. No curators moved in, no decorators freshened colors. Not even a clock on the wall was reset. It still shows the same minute emergency workers arrived. As a child, Riley would tiptoe upstairs while crowds drifted to the downstairs exhibits, her heart pounding in her ears. She and her cousins were told not to touch a single thing. So they watched quietly, soaking in a world frozen like a stopwatch. Those moments burned into her memory, and today she chooses to share them with us. Brave and shocking, yet tender too. Behind the locked door lie letters, hidden compartments, and entire rooms that feel as if Elvis might walk back in at any second. Each drawer holds echoes of rock and roll history. Each carpet fiber carries a hush of private heartbreak. Thanks to Riley's courage, the world now inches closer to the answer, and the legend of Elvis Presley grows even more electrifying. Imagine walking into a room that feels like a sealed dream frozen in velvet air. Elvis kept a private study upstairs, and Riley Keough says it hits harder than any gold record. Deep wood panels stare back, while books on numerology, Christian teaching, and Eastern mystery fill the shelves in heavy silence. Between those covers hide notebooks packed with his raw thoughts on fame's spirit and aching loneliness. Some pages read like whispered prayers, while others explode with half-built song lines and wild scribbles. One sheet simply repeats the question free, over and over like a cry that never found an answer. Artifacts on every side tell their own story. The bed still wears its silk sheets, and two nightstands send mixed signals. One holds a Bible filled with Elvis's notes, while the other holds medicine bottles, still capped and waiting. Under that bed, Riley found a shoebox stamped, "Do not open." Inside were unsent letters. One reached out to Lisa Marie, while another said, "To whoever finds this after I'm gone." Riley will never publish them, yet she admits they turned her idea of her granddad upside down. Next door stands the bathroom where Elvis took his last breath, and Riley will not break that silence. She only says nothing has been moved, not even the towels. The family guards like a shrine, and she remembers him spending hours there reading, praying, or just sitting quiet away from the world. Farther down the hall hides the quiet room that no guide ever mentions. Elvis designed it for deep meditation. Dim light falls on floor cushions while an old sound machine hums like distant rain. No photo exists, and no fan knew it was real until Riley spoke up. She calls it the truest proof of a restless soul chasing peace in a world that kept staring at him. Why speak now? Riley explains that after Lisa Marie passed, she became both owner of Graceland and keeper of the legend. For years, her mother locked all pain behind that stairway. Now Riley feels the time has come to share without turning the upstairs into a circus. She promises those doors will stay shut. Her goal is heart-level connection, not ticket sales. Some spaces are meant to stay personal, she says, but that doesn't mean they must stay secret. Riley remembers the smell of old leather and faint cologne hanging in the air like a ghost. She says the carpet still shows the dents of his swivel chair, and the lamp by the bookcase throws the same warm glow he loved when reading late at night. A magnifying glass left on the sill hints at hours spent studying newspaper clippings about himself, while yellow pad shows doodles of karate kicks beside Buddhist quotes. She laughs that her grandfather was part rock star, part philosopher, and part restless child, all in one. For the family, these rooms are never mere attractions. They are beating hearts sealed behind wood and paint. Riley hopes fans will see the longing behind every glitter cape and the pain behind every soaring note. She closes this chapter with a promise. The upstairs stays private, yet the feelings inside will travel through her words. That balance, she insists, is the only way to honor both Elvis the icon and Elvis the fragile man who feared being forgotten. End of part 1, and the mystery only grows because the next question burns brighter than any spotlight. Is the king still alive? Prepare for revelations that shake every assumption you hold. Could the king have staged his own exit and slipped away through a tunnel under Graceland? For almost 50 years, fans have argued that Elvis never died at all, he simply vanished. The idea stays alive because of strange clues from his last days and whispers of an underground passage starting inside the mansion and winding beneath the meditation garden before surfacing in the woods. The tunnel tale has echoed around Memphis since the late 1970s. A handful of former staff and bold trespassers claim they saw a hidden doorway near the rear carport that led down into darkness. Some say it was built so Elvis could dodge paparazzi, while others call an escape hatch ready for the moment he wanted pure freedom. Believers point to the way Elvis changed during that decade. He ordered constant sweeps for bugs pulled out of concerts and hid upstairs behind closed drapes. They insist this was not simple retreat, but rehearsal for disappearance. Is there proof? Public blueprints show no tunnel. Yet those plans refuse to reveal the second floor, and everyone knows that level is real. Some staff deny any passage, while others mutter. There are things not even employees are shown. That single line fuels endless late-night debates. The Presley family keeps silent, but curiosity keeps roaring. In 1987, a freelance reporter claimed he found a concrete entry half buried under vines. No photo ever surfaced, yet the rumor blazed across tabloids and talk shows. Sightings followed fast. In 1978, a man who looked exactly like Elvis boarded a flight at Memphis International using the name John Burroughs. That was the same alias Elvis used on tour. Papers shrugged, yet fans cheered. More flashes popped up everywhere. In 1984, a tourist snapped a heavy-set groundskeeper behind Graceland, and the image went wild. Dark glasses, Presley jawline, and extra weight that matched natural aging. Staff never named the man, so the mystery deepened. Reports kept rolling. Elvis ordering chili dogs in Michigan. Elvis laughing at a Burger King in Texas. Elvis sitting in the back row of an impersonator show in Nevada grinning at his own legend. One of the wildest claims surfaced in 1994 when a tall, gray-haired man matching Presley's look walked into a California DMV paid in cash and answered the name question with "That's not important." No video ever emerged, yet the tale refuses to fade. Skeptics say every sighting is a simple mistake, but believers answer with 3 words: tunnel and timing. They argue that the hidden passage gave Elvis the clean break he needed, and the quick sightings prove he still walks the earth in disguise. Official records list the king as dead and buried, yet unanswered questions linger like feedback after a final chord. Until the family reveals every hidden blueprint or unlocks that staircase, fans will keep digging for clues, and the legend will keep breathing. End of part 2, yet the mystery marches on. Will hard evidence rise from the shadows, or will the king forever linger on the edge of rumor? Stay alert, because the next twist could drop when you least expect it. A tiny spelling error. Yet it set off one of the wildest Elvis conspiracies ever. Some fans point to the death certificate's middle name. Elvis's legal name was Aaron, but the paperwork and gravestone read Aaron. To believers, that wasn't a typo. It was a secret signal. The body in the grave wasn't truly his. Why fake his death? By the late 1970s, Elvis faced chronic pain, prescription addiction, and crushing fame. He rarely left the second floor of Graceland, sealed away from the world. Conspiracy theorists argue he had the money, the means, and even a hidden tunnel to orchestrate the perfect vanishing act, and finally live in peace. Yet hard proof is missing. No DNA tests, no fingerprint comparisons, no verified letters or phone calls after August 16, 1977. His autopsy was done, family viewed his body, and thousands attended his public funeral. Most sightings trace back to grainy photos and hearsay. Some so-called witnesses later admitted they'd been mistaken. Still, the silence around Elvis's final days invites speculation. He hadn't performed in months. Paparazzi rarely caught him in public. The locked second floor created a vacuum, and fans filled it with stories of escape. Riley Keough knows she can't debunk every rumor. Mystery fuels Elvis's legend. Her mission is not to explain every whisper, but to protect what mattered most to him, his private world. Whether or not a tunnel exists, she maintains the sealed rooms as a shrine to his memory. Maybe the name mix-up was a clerical error, or a loving relative's well-meaning fix. Or maybe, after a lifetime in the spotlight, Elvis chose one secret no one would ever breach. Could Elvis have secret children and a fortune worth fighting over? Rumors claim Elvis fathered kids beyond Lisa Marie. Hidden heirs who surface with DNA samples, birth certificates, and eerie family resemblances. A few even sued the Presley estate, hoping for a share of the fortune. While courts have dismissed most cases, the whispers refuse to die. After Elvis died in 1977, Lisa Marie inherited Graceland. When she passed in 2023, ownership passed to Riley Keough, only to spark a legal battle. Priscilla Presley contested a 2016 trust amendment, revealing how fiercely guarded this empire is. The Presley estate structure, managed by the Elvis Presley Trust, controls property, licensing, and image rights worth hundreds of millions. Any new claimant must prove paternity with airtight DNA evidence and a clear chain of custody. At least a dozen people have claimed to be Elvis's secret child. One man sought court approval to exhume Elvis's body for DNA. Another submitted a hair sample from an auction lock of Elvis's hair. The estate rejected both as unreliable. Most DNA came from memorabilia or third-party sources, legally flimsy and scientifically weak. Still, conspiracy forums buzz with alleged names and stories of hush money payments or late-night calls from Elvis. None of these women or men ever produced proof the family would accept. Riley and Lisa Marie stayed silent, perhaps a legal tactic or respect for privacy. That silence only fuels further speculation. Now, at 34, Riley stands at the helm of Graceland's kingdom. She isn't just a passive heir. She approves exhibits, meets with archivists, and leads digital preservation projects to archive Elvis's notes, recordings, and photos with proper metadata. She's also reshaping the narrative. Elvis Presley is more than a musician. He's a cultural icon wrapped in contradictions, rebellion and tradition, public adoration, and private sorrow. Riley's challenge: humanize a legend while preserving his mystique. She insists Graceland is a living home, not a frozen museum. It's not about locking him in time, she says. It's about making sure he's understood. That vision extends into education. Riley supports partnerships with universities to study Elvis not just as entertainment, but as a lens into American culture, race, and fame. She's opening archives for scholarly research, granting selected historians access to letters and recordings once hidden upstairs. Yet the rooms themselves remain closed. Some spaces are sacred. Their power lies in what they conceal. Whether it's a misspelled name on a death certificate or claims of secret heirs, Riley lets questions linger. She believes ambiguity honors Elvis's complexity. In a world that demands instant answers, she guards the mysteries he left behind, because some parts of the story belong only to the Presley family's heart.